No introduction needed, just 29 points. That's all I got to say. A 29-point lead evaporated just like that. If you all don't know, I'm sure all of you have known or have heard so far, the Spurs blow a 29-point lead to the New York Knicks. We were so close, but so far away. To lose a 29-point lead, everything has to go wrong. And after a performance like this, or a collapse like this, the series is over. The series is over. You know what I'm saying? This is too demoralizing of a loss to just bounce back from. You're basically in the most perfect position to gain momentum in this series. You know what I'm saying? To just quiet the noise and really, show that you're really here. The New York Knicks are one game away from making it official, but it's over. If I was a Spurs fan, I'd be sick to my stomach. Basically, in all 4 games so far, y'all have been the ones that's in control. You know what I'm saying? They have been the ones that are in control, having a double-digit lead in every single one of those games. You know what I'm saying? Coming out strong, you know what I'm saying? Punching first, just doing everything. But for some reason, they just can't hold it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's the inexperience. Matter of fact, I can't even say maybe. I think it is the inexperience of just your best players not having experience in the biggest moments. Because everybody on your roster, besides Luke Cornett, Harrison Barnes, haven't been to the finals at all. You know what I'm saying? So there's definitely a level of inexperience, but that's no excuse to lose a 29-point lead. I know a lot of people are going to say De'Aaron Fox shooting that layup basically lost them the game. A lot of people are putting the blame on De'Aaron Fox, but it went wrong way before that. Way before that. You know what I'm saying? This is one of them games where it's just a matter of things building up to get to that point. You can't just put this loss on one player in one moment. To lose a 29-point lead, you have to have at least 10 plus possessions where there's unanswered points, where there's just no answer. There's a lot of things that have to go wrong for a collapse like this. Miscommunication, turnovers, missed shots, going long periods without scoring, your star players not showing up. Everything that had to go wrong in order to lose this type of lead went wrong. And I think a lot of people are forgetting, you know what I'm saying, I think the moment where it really changed is where you really started to see the inexperience and the youngness and the nervousness within the Spurs that the Knicks had them rattled, is when Victor Wembanyama missed those 2 free throws. You know what I'm saying? Because that was the point in the game where, okay, New York, they're getting out of control. They're going on a run. Now it's time to calm everything down. But when he missed those 2 free throws back to back, that showed me that they just wasn't ready. They're just not ready. You know what I'm saying? They have, they have the pieces to the puzzle. They just can't put them together. You know what I'm saying? Because they've been in control for every one of these games. Every one of these 4 games, they've been in control. It's always that one run or that one play that triggers a run by New York, and they're just unable to, and the Spurs are unable to just balance themselves. And I think this was just a perfect showing of that. You can't put this all on De'Aaron Fox, but at the same time, De'Aaron Fox has to be better. You know what I'm saying? This one moment doesn't define the entire game, but De'Aaron Fox also hasn't been good. You know what I'm saying? He's supposed to be the guy in situations like this. You're supposed to calm the team down. You know what I'm saying? He's a former Clutch Player of the Year award. He won it the first year that the award was out. He was supposed to be the guy. You know what I'm saying? To calm it down and really bring everybody back to a common state and finish out the game strong. So even though I wouldn't put that one moment as the reason they lost, he still doesn't get a pass. He had a good game. I think it was game 2 where he came out strong and finished strong. Just had an overall good game. But so far, throughout this series as a whole, he just hasn't been good. Even though that Dylan Harper and Stephon Castle are playing well, De'Aaron Fox is still supposed to be that go-to guy in crunch time, or Whenever they need a bucket, whenever they need a big time play, he's supposed to be the guy. And I think this is the point where you're really starting to see it show up, the inexperience. You know what I'm saying? Because the one thing that have made the one thing that has made the Spurs, you know what I'm saying, so dangerous is the fact that they're not experienced. You know what I'm saying? They can't identify big situations from just a regular situation. But this was a moment where you needed to identify, okay, we need to slow the game down. Okay, this was that moment where you needed that experience. Somebody to identify the situation and know, okay, let's slow the game down. Let's get a good possession here. Let's get a go-to play, a go-to shot that we know we can make. Let's get the best matchup we possibly can just to put the ball in the basket to calm everything down. Let's slow the game down, because New York was really just trying to speed the game up. And I think one of the areas where the Spurs went wrong is they were also playing too fast. And New York is just one of those teams where, you know, they can play both ways, but they're exceptionally well when the game is sped up. Chaos is involved. And in this situation, when you're down 29, if you're New York, this is the perfect situation you want. You want chaos to be involved. You want to cause turnovers and speed everything up and get in transition and things like that. And I feel like, you know, even though the Spurs have been one of the best teams in the league at playing fast, this was one of the moments where they needed, you know, that vet, that player that can slow the game down. Just a player that acknowledges the moment, or, you know what I'm saying, just slow the game down and milk some more time off the clock. You know what I'm saying? And they just don't have that. And this is just one of those situations where you just see the inexperience show up. You know what I'm saying? The one thing that the Spurs been able to hang their hat on is that they don't have experience, but they don't need it. It's like sometimes you just gotta realize that the other team wanted more. And this game definitely showed that New York just wants it more. You know what I'm saying? This game had nothing to do with talent, who was better on paper, who was the biggest X factor. This was just all around just who wants it more, who's gonna hustle, who's gonna, you know, acknowledge the moment and step up to the plate. It's like a heavyweight bout between two boxers. You know what I'm saying? You got the Spurs coming out swinging, you know what I'm saying, looking like they're ahead of the cards or they're ahead on the cards. But then New York in them later rounds start throwing haymakers and they just start connecting. And ultimately the comeback happened. The greatest comeback in NBA history. Just given that this is the biggest stage that this can possibly happen. The NBA Finals, 29-point lead. But you also got to give a shout out to OG Anunoby. You know what I'm saying? OG Anunoby is by far the Finals MVP. There's no player in this series that has been better consistently than OG Anunoby. Time in and time out. Brunson has struggled so far this season. Cat at times hasn't showed up. Mikal Bridges hasn't showed up. But OG Anunoby has been that common factor within this series. Going into this finals, you know what I'm saying, it was a little rumors here and there. He was going to have the matchup with Wembanyama, and he could, you know what I'm saying, make an impact. But most surprisingly, he's making an impact offensively. He's making his biggest impact offensively. You know, his defense has been elite. You know what I'm saying? This finals where he's showing that he should have been first team on defense. But we all know how that goes. You know what I'm saying? It's every year a player gets misplaced somewhere where he should be in a higher position. New York wouldn't be up 3-1 if it wasn't for him. He just 30 points this game is just, he's consistent, man. And it's like, who would have thought? You know what I'm saying? Because for many years, leading up to this moment, leading up to this NBA Finals, people were just looking at him as a 3-and-D type of guy. Pretty much his whole career, he's been looked at as a 3-and-D type of guy. Just a player that you can throw on the opposing team's best player, and he can hit a couple threes here and there. But this finals, he's showing everything. You know what I'm saying? Being able to draw attention to the defense, putting pressure on the defense, drawing them in, kicking it out, playmaking. Like I said, and still guarding the best player, still coming up with, chase down blocks like he had on De'Aaron Fox, which definitely did look like a foul, but they didn't call it. You know what I'm saying? It happens. But came up with a few key stops within this game throughout this series, to be honest. Had a couple big time dunks. You know what I'm saying? Most notably, 2 of them coming on Wembanyama. Not dunking on him, but, you know what I'm saying? Wembanyama in the vicinity, which is usually the ones that he blocks. Just he's been coming up big time in and time out. Coming into this series, people thought, including myself, thought Cat was going to be the biggest X factor besides Brunson for the Knicks. But right now, Anunoby's been the biggest X factor in general. You know what I'm saying? Even above Brunson. You know what I'm saying? Because without Anunoby just being consistent as he is, the Knicks wouldn't be in the position that they're in. You know what I'm saying? Last game, only missing 4 shots, then following that up with a 30-piece. Man, corner threes, everything. He's showing the entire bag and still guarding the team's best ball handler, best player, the unsung hero of this series, and basically the game-changing player of this series. Because without him, this series would look entirely different. San Antonio, they've been able to bounce back very well, but after every game that they lost, it's been the same result every time. They bounced back in the first quarter, then Knicks end up going on a run in the second quarter, at the end of the second quarter, going into halftime. Spurs an answer, then the Knicks will go on a final run. But who knows? Maybe this is the game that the Spurs needed to really, lock in. You know what I'm saying? Really dial in on not making mistakes, not making turnovers, identifying the situation. Maybe this might be a wake-up call. Who knows? This was definitely a moment that would definitely, help them in the future, though, because the fact that they're still so young, basically every moment that's happening within this series or this playoff run is helping them out in the future. So when it does become a time that it happens again, they'll be ready for it. My mind is still processing what happened. You know what I'm saying? This might be the best finals game I've ever saw, besides the 2014 NBA Finals where Ray Allen hit that shot. It was either 2013 or 2014. Can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, that's pretty much all I got for this video. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Do those 3 things for me. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next one.